off-road mission control. Notifying Central MCP. We have lost contact.
Oh! Put it on top, off it. Focus, focus. I need that. Let me go.
I'm a good sport even when I lose. I know all about P's and Q's. Leave your cruise, show your blindness. I just love to kill with kindness. I'm so blind. Yet to obvious that I'm blind. And I always do what's right. I wear light in my neighborhood. Always do things that I shit for my mom.
Okay, 6K?
It's a bitch being good, and I wish that they would.
You got that.
I'm so blind. Yes, to obvious that I'm blind. And I always do what's right. You won't ever
Right in front of us.
see fight. 'Cause I put up on black and white.
Oh my god!
I have to set point here.
Hey, welcome back to Unions Genius. Pretty standard mount this time around. Let's get into it. Starting off with mice, first we have Lamsu with the Paro, their second attempt at an ergo, coming in at 120 by 65 by 41mm and 48 grams. Not much bigger than Son, despite their claims of a mini ergo. Detailed specs aren't announced yet, but it's confirmed to have optical clicks and an optical encoder, and the use of a Nordic 52840, support for 8K wireless, and Lamsu upgrading the existing lineup to the 3950 in the case that this mouse will be the same. Prices and release dates also aren't announced yet, but we bet it's going to be around $100 and coming very soon. More Lamsu news, they're also updating the Maya to the 3950 and adding 8K polling, in a new colorway in collaboration with Natural Customs. Then we have Fexi with the XES, a very exciting release for the brand as all of their previous releases have been on the heavier side, but it seems with the XES they have cracked the code, with the smaller mouse coming in at 118 by 64 by 36mm at 60 grams, using a 3950 with support for 4K polling. It is available for $140, with the 4K receiver included. Attack Shark is quickly growing the business with multiple releases for the month. First with the X11, which is a budget mouse at $35 coming in at 63 grams. It uses a BK3633 MCU and features a 3011 with a charging dock. They also announced the R6 with much more impressive specs, coming in at 37 grams with no holes, support for 8K polling and a supposed 3950 max for the sensor, which is just firmware interpolation most likely, since this isn't a real sensor that Pixar makes. Lastly, an odd collaboration with another peripheral company, AJAS, with the AJ159. Similarly featuring a 3950 with tweaked firmware. Funny enough, they say that they overclocked the sensor to 42,000 dpi and calls it a 3950 Apex this time around. 8K polling and also features a charging dock like the X11. But this one does have a little display, with the 8K dongle built right into the dock. It is also very competitively priced at only $70. And now into the quickfire round. First, we have aimmag with a currently unnamed carbon fiber mouse. Details are, as with most things these days, currently unconfirmed. But we do know the weight and size, at 37 grams and coming in at 118 by 60 by 37 millimeters. We also know that it actually exists, with aimmag showing off the show on Twitter. A few new colorways from Pulsar that actually looks good. We have first black and white versions of a clear X2H, red versions for the X-Lite V3 ES and the X2H ES, and most surprisingly, a collab with rhythm game DJ Max on an X2 V2, which we think looks absolutely incredible. Rumors of a new G305 clone from Mchos called the G3, featuring 8K polling and coming in at 59 grams. From these low-res photos, it seems to be a 1-to-1 copy as well. So if you're a member of the 8 cult, be on the lookout for this when it drops. Next, the VT1 from Rappo, another strong entry in the budget market. With 3 versions all costing less than $50. It features a 3950, 4K wireless and 8K wire pulling at 59 grams for the regular and the Pro, with the aimmag coming in at 50 grams using a much smaller 300 mAh battery. Interestingly, it's also another one of those budget mice that don't use a Nordic MCU, using a Realtek MCU instead. Then, we got the N5 from DomoShock, an ergo shape coming in at 57 grams. The rest of the specs are pretty standard. Nordic MCU, support for 8K wireless, but they are using a 3395 instead of the new 3950, which is interesting. Then, we have Logitech with leaked images of the G309, an odd shape using batteries at 86 grams, aiming to be the replacement for the very popular G305. Detailed specs are unknown at this time, but this is yet another release aimed at the casual audience, much like the G705. For the enthusiasts, you're better off looking at that G3 from Mchos. Speaking of products that will be dead on arrival, we have a leak from SteelSeries with the Rifle 3 Wireless Gen 2, also battery powered with 2 AA batteries, using their True Move sensor, which is marketing speak for a 3335, which is honestly embarrassing to see in 2024. It seems that this company really is lost. Now, on to mouse pads. First, we have the EMB from Endgame Gear, a cloth pad coming in at either 490 by 410mm or 500 by 500mm. Information outside of marketing speak is pretty sparse. They do claim that it is a balance pad with a port-on base, which is apparently ideal for gamers who demand precision and adaptability across different gaming genres. Whatever that means. Next, we have Yuki-In with the Timeless collection, glass pad, 500 by 400mm and, of course, anime. We really would not have cared if not for the fact that one of the designs might be too much even for this publication. Honestly, if you have one of these, you should get put on a list somewhere. And even more anime. Warhack with the Frenzy Sora. And yep, it's the same mousepad, but with anime. There's also supposed lore for the anime girls you have seen on the recent Warhack releases. As for the company themselves, and you might want to sit down for this, Warhack exists as a mega corporation in an alternate reality. Genres as Sora and Yume are put into a gritty story exploring themes of technology, identity, society, and the perception of reality. Very big words to sell some mousepads. And now on to keyboards. First, we have the Export QS from Pulsar, a worked focus board with the ability to swap between 2 computers, featuring gasket mount, a full alloy case, PPT double shot keycaps, an integrated USB hub, hot swap, but no rapid trigger. This is a strictly mechanical keyboard, again focused for productivity. Very impressive specs for one, but do keep in mind that it is a whopping $300. But if you're disappointed to see this board not supporting rapid trigger, don't worry, they have one in the works too. Wooling coming out with springs for their lacquer switches, with options from 35 grams all the way up to a ludicrous 100 grams. With a set of 120 springs coming in at only $15, this is pretty cool to see. ATK, outside of making very impressive budget mice, is also stepping into the keyboard market with the RS7 Esports Edition, a 75% with some very impressive specs. 8K polling, gasket mount, aluminum top case, web drivers. They also use Gateron's magnetic J-switch for an actuation range of 0.02mm to 3.4mm. And of course, it also has rapid trigger. The pricing is also incredibly competitive, with the cheapest non-backlit version with only an aluminum top instead of a full case coming in at $110 with all the same specs. The spec'd out model is only $140 as well. Again, extremely competitive. But Wooling still has the technological upper hand because they have the Rappy Snappy feature, which is basically hardware knows. With the ADHD yet to be shipped, the question is, will someone beat Wooling to the market? And lastly, on to miscellaneous news, with a leaked image of an XL2566X 400Hz. seemingly a new monitor from Saudi. Information is still extremely limited, but the photos here do seem legit. Interesting to see how Saudi will react to the upcoming 480Hz OLEDs coming out this year. And that's all the news for May 2024. Hi, welcome back to the record books. A quick one for this month. Big scores out of Maddie for the month as usual. First with a 144.6 on Fox target switch, barely edging out second place by 0.3. Then, a 144.3 on passive voltaic, the first to achieve a 140, and widening the gap between him and second to over 12. Next, a 27300 on Kin target switch, the first to break 27k. And lastly, a 607-808 on Pasu Dodge Easy, the first to break 600k, and beating out second place by over 30,000. Next, we have Clover with a 46-43 on Smooth Path Voltaic, barely beating out Maddie by 30 hits. Not an actual score, but Clover also choked an incredible 4800 on the scene. Then we have Flavo with a 133 on Bounce 180 tracking, leading second place by 3 kills. Salzy with a 38-14 on RA Smooth Track, beating out second place by 19 points. Cianlo with a 2150 on VT Multiclick 180 Advanced, getting the top spot by 2 hits. And lastly, but not least, we have Lewis with a 1080 on 3T Bounce TS Advanced, a tied world record. And that's all the world records for May 2024. Links to all files are in the description. Check them out.